What makes a man not choose you? If you look like you smoke weed, he ain't gonna choose you.
Wait a minute.
High value, high earning masculine. No one, no woman that looks like they smoke a blunt every day.
Why you look at me when you said that?
I didn't. If you look like your gums bleed when you floss, that man ain't looking
What
at you.
does it look like when your what? What does
When
that
your
look
teeth
like?
look crazy, when it looks like you have bad dental hygiene. We don't have that in this room. If it comes down to ugly, entitled character and behavior, that man is not going to choose you. If you expect that man to spend a bunch of money on you just because you're pretty, he might choose you for a little while and then he's going to let you go and you get recycled, used, that whole cycle. So I would just say, number one, do the best with your genetic potential. Take care of yourself. Please, for the love of God, don't look like you smoke a blunt a day.
Why do you keep looking at me when you say that?
Unless
I don't
you wanna
even
be with
smoke
a man
weed
that
anymore,
also
Sarah.
smokes a blunt every day.
Sarah.
And then y'all two could be two blunt smoking people
Sarah.
together. That's
Why-
it. I'm complete.
All right. And she keeps looking at me, bro. Like, she keeps looking at me.
Everybody seems to want a high value man. You know, the guy that has a vision, the guy that can see your potential and pours into you. You know, those videos that you see of the cute couples like doing the quarterly reviews and setting their goal. It's great. Listen, that was on my list too, until I realized that having a high value man will show you areas of your life that you need to improve in. It's actually very uncomfortable, but it's good that it's uncomfortable. It's great that you and your boyfriend can joke about and laugh. I think that's very important. Please marry your best friend. But does he speak to the woman that you're becoming? Can he see that you are operating here and believes that you can operate here, and not just see the disparity, but say, babe, this is how we're going to get you to here? Can he do that? And it's not just him being able to identify these things, but can you take it when he dishes it out? Can I tell you right now, it's not as cute as you think it's gonna be. It's actually really uncomfortable. Like, I was literally, you know when you're talking to somebody and then like the camera's like up here? That was me last night. I can confidently say that, look, there may be times where I'm pressed on every side, but I know that I'm gonna be, I already am, you know, turning into a better version of myself thanks to the people that I have in my life. But one beautiful thing about a relationship, you know, between two people that really want more for themselves, and in this case, a man that is going after greatness and can see that in his girlfriend or wife, so, is that he sees the woman that I'm becoming, not the woman that I am. And I think that's so beautiful because it's a reflection of how Jesus sees us. When Jesus looks at me, he's smitten. What can I say? And I think it's just beautiful how you got to bring people into your life to like sharpen you and to keep you on the right path. And it's so uncomfortable, but it's so needed. You just also need to be ready for the refining that comes with this.
Ladies, I think we've all lost something. Where are the high value men? Where did they go? They're lost and they cannot be found. I've clearly been looking. I've maybe found a small handful in my dating pool. Not that I've been dating a lot, but a small handful, which it's good. They're out there. But a lot of them are lost or they cannot be found. Help me find the high value men.
The real problem isn't that there is no good men left. The problem is you've convinced yourself they don't exist. We complain all the time about there being no good men left. We literally have tricked ourselves to believing all men are liars, they're all trash, they're dishonest, and not to be taken seriously. I'm here to tell you that that is a huge load of shit. There are great men all around us, and I guarantee you that they are right in front of you. You just don't know how to open yourself to seeing. As a woman, you really need to cancel this limiting belief. It is only causing you harm. Yes, I understand you may have past experiences with men that were traumatic and not good. And yes, I understand that some men can be very awful, but men can say the same thing about us women. You are supposed to learn and grow from past relationships and really change yourself and heal yourself so you can start attracting in high value men. It's not that there's a lack of high value men. It's because there's a lack of self-awareness and self-love. You really need to start embodying your feminine energy. That is a feeling within you, and you will not be able to feel that unless you really start to have self-love. It's all about how you see yourself, how you treat yourself. Stop complaining about all these men and start opening yourself up to who you really are. Love yourself. feel yourself in your feminine energy, and I guarantee you shifting this limiting belief about all men being trash, you will start to see all of the great high value men right in front of you.
This is why that I keep stressing this in all the videos. This is why high value men will oftentimes get left. Guys are like, oh my gosh, I made $20 million per year and I'm 6'5" and I have a nice house and she still left me. It wasn't good enough. Yeah, it wasn't, because you're not demonstrating the masculinity traits. You were accessible.
So I see a lot of people saying, oh, you're Black, you shouldn't want to be a stay-at-home mom. But the only reason why white women are more likely to be a stay-at-home mom is because men in the Black community are not making as much money, okay? When you compare the salary of an average white man to an average Black man, a white man is making more money. That is why white women can stay at home, because they can choose, because most likely you're more than likely to marry in your own race. When a white woman goes into the dating scene and she's looking for a white man to marry, that man is going to be doing well for himself. He's going to already be established, etc. But when a young Black girl is going out into the dating scene looking for a Black man to marry, the Black man that she has to marry, more than likely she has to pick up the slack. She has to be working because she's going to be making more than that man, because Black women on average make more than Black men. So if she's going to go out and date a Black man, she's going to have to split the bills with him. He's more than likely going to have to move into her house. He's more than likely going to be living off of her. That's why white women are more than likely to be hypergamous and stay-at-home moms, because they have more of a selection of high-value men. In the Black community, there isn't a large selection of high-value men because a lot of men are not making the cut, okay? They're not graduating college as much. They're not doing high-paying jobs, etc. That is why white women are able to marry up and become stay-at-home moms. It's because there's not a lot of Black men to choose from in the Black community.
It's so hard to find a high value man. What do you mean by that? Like, all I want is a good guy that takes care of me. But there's plenty of good guys out there. What do you mean by take care of you? I don't know, like make me feel safe, take away my stress, take charge for once. Oh, I get it. So a man you could submit to. Ooh, what? A man who's bigger and stronger than you? Yeah. A man who can financially support the two of you? Preferably. A man who takes the lead on things? Sure. Right. A man superior to you. Ugh, why are you saying it like that? Like what? Superior, submit? Like, all these words are disgusting. Just because I'm a woman doesn't mean that men are superior to me. And I'm a strong woman. I don't submit to anyone. But you want to, huh? How can a man lead if you don't want to submit to that lead? How can a man make you feel safe if he isn't physically superior to you? How can a man support you financially and take away your stress if you don't allow him to? You say that you want all of these things, but the moment a man with those qualities comes around, you feel your independence slipping away and you panic. So how about you submit for once and let one of those good men give you what you want? I'll never submit, and you'll never find a man.
Women nowadays will literally be like, I can't find any good men. There are no good men left. And then they'll be like, I just need 6 feet, like 6 inches, and like 6 figures.
Even if this video was just meant for fun, it's still another case of men acting like women have impossible standards so that they feel better about themselves when they don't meet them. And it bothers me because these guys are acting like women are looking down on men who they would consider less than perfect. But have you ever heard a woman talk about a bum who she's in love with? Because she'll make every excuse in the world for why that man is incredible and just misunderstood. So let's say, for example, that a man has no job. She's not going to let you sit there and call him unemployed. No, she's going to tell you how it's probably because no one ever encouraged him and that he's going to be able to do anything he sets his mind to once she just believes in him. You're acting like women will only date men who make 6 figures, but I know women who are working 2 jobs with full insurance and a 401k who are dating them with 60 cents in their bank account because she thinks he has potential. I don't know how you can act like women will only settle for rich men anyways when most families are living paycheck to paycheck and can't survive on one income. Because I think that means they married for love. And don't even get me started on what's between the legs, because there are women in 30-year marriages who have never successfully had a no, and you're going to act like women are out here throwing the whole man away because of his size? Because I don't think so. In fact, there are women out here faking O's so that the men in their lives don't feel inadequate, and yet you're going to act like we're out here bringing measuring tapes to our coffee date? Sure, when it comes to height, maybe some women do have a preference for men who can reach the top shelf or the cookie jar, but that's all subject to change. If he's a good man with good qualities, then she may just fall in love and try to convert the whole world talking about how we love a short king. Listen, the truth is that even you don't believe this nonsense, because if you really believed that women had impossible standards, then you wouldn't be telling them to pick better men at every opportunity. So when I see videos like this, I realize that they're usually not mad about what women want. They're just mad that women don't want them.
But you have something that supersedes the alpha male, the sigma male. The sigma male have traits of the alpha and the beta, but he supersedes the alpha. He can go in any environment and play like a beta. He can lead like an alpha. His traits supersede the alpha male. There's no such thing as a high value man. It's a made up term. It's only a man and a gentleman. It's already hard just being a man. It's already hard in our time, just finding out what a man is. Why I can't just be an honest man? Why I can't be a good man? Why I just can't be a man? Well, most of us ain't even seen a man. Most of us are coming out of our mother's home, don't know what a man look like, don't know what a man do, don't know how a man think, don't know what a man behavior is, and don't know how to define a man. That's why we real niggas. That's why we can't let go of our childhood boys value system that we had when we was 15 that we still remain and hold on to till we're 45. What's up, cuz? On time. When your seasons change, your tune change as a man. I once thought like a child, so I behave like a child. I now think like a man, so I behave like a man. Nigga, that's why most of us are still boys, because we ain't never seen no man. We've been watching mama deal with thugs. You see what I'm saying? We ain't nobody to sit us down and teach us about what a man do. We had no man take us to work and show what a man do at work. So most of us ain't been to no leadership schools. So we already fell in just being a man. Who go up the notch and say, high value man? It's so hard to be a man. Who done come up with this high value shit? Now we got another level we got to try to reach. And it's made up. Your woman define what kind of man you is. Your children define, because your accomplishments, we don't get to speak at your funeral. I'm gonna say it again, homie. Your accomplishment, none of that gets to speak at the funeral. That's what defines the man. What these people saying while you in that casket that you can't hear, that you'll never hear, nigga. Because the man don't get to hear this when he's alive. The man established law and order. That's his job as a man. He corrects what's wrong. These niggas ain't doing it. They see what's wrong next door, across the street, down the street, and get up and go to work as a high-value man and never correct nothing that's wrong.
So many beautiful, well-rounded women cannot find a partner is because a lot of parents failed their sons. My mom on a walk had asked me, we know so many beautiful, well-rounded girls. Why are they single? I responded with, your generation was so hard on the girls. Like, we literally had to be made out of glass. We couldn't afford to make mistakes. Failure was not in our vocabulary. Like, we literally had to be perfect. So now you have this large group of women that are almost like overperforming. So now you have this large group of women who know how to take care of a home, know how to take care of themselves, are family oriented, but they also have the ambition of a man and are career focused. Overall, they are performing at standards and expectations that are so high, because back home, specifically, my parents are from India. Back then, women weren't granted the same privileges and rights back home in India. So my mom still had me performing the gender norms of a good Indian daughter, but I was encouraged to basically utilize the freedom that I had. Parents failed their sons, because while so much pressure is being put on women, nothing was put on their boys. They were and are still coddled. They're not independent, meaning that they're codependent on their parents for multiple things, also have no sense of leadership. They're consistently relying on a system for guidance and direction instead of building like that inner voice and trying to take initiative to build their life. That's why women are single. Because not only did we have to fight for the life that we wanted, it was completely possible to do that. Though it was hard, it was possible. But there are men that don't want to utilize this opportunity to better themselves and like have dreams and have goals. Instead, they're looking for a partner to be a replacement.
That's not true. None of this is true. Zero of what she's saying is true. And all of this is her theory, is her opinion, is her perception. But as a person that is 43 years old, that has traveled all over the country, all over the world, I've coached hundreds of men and hundreds of women. I will tell you that there's a power dynamic that is happening between men and women, and that's what it is. What's happening is this, all right? It's layers, it's filtered. The guys that are up here, the winners, they don't want the women that are overly ambitious and trying to make sure that they achieve the same as men because they don't give a fuck about what it is that you've achieved, that they only care about what it is that serves them. And the first thing that I seen that she said that gave me a red flag, that helped me to understand that she don't really even understand the dynamics between how it, what's necessary in order to have a successful relationship. And I come from a successful relationship. I've been married for the last 21 years successfully. Is that the first thing that she said is, I want a partner. She didn't say I wanted a husband. Let me say that again for the people in the back because y'all might have missed it. They want a partner, not a husband. And if you are going to get a husband, then that means that gender roles matter. If you want a partner, then that means that you want somebody to basically go 50-50 with, right? And I'm speaking figuratively, not literally, but figuratively, because women are basically saying that they are the same as men now. And that is the problem because men don't want other men. Men want women, especially the ones that's up here. Now let's go to the next layer, right? Because you got the men that's up here, right? And then the women that are up here that then align with the men that's up here will let the fat motherfucking woman come in your life and destroy your shit. So why are you going to do it for a woman simply because you are attracted to her? No high value man or a man of value should be choosing a woman based on how the fuck she looks. And if you don't learn to stop doing it right fucking now, you're going to lose most of the shit you don't work hard to build. I can't tell you the countless amount of time that I've worked with guys in my coaching program. I'm listening to their situations and I'm trying to figure out how in the fuck did they get in such a fucked up situation with this woman? And what I hear time and time again is not that they love her, it's not that she's special, it's not that she's this amazing woman, but it's more so that they got with a woman strictly based on what she does to him in the bedroom and how she looks standing next to him. And you guys got to fucking stop that shit. Fuck that trophy wife shit. Fuck that bad bitch shit. Fuck that America's Next Top Model good looking. I got to have the baddest woman in the fucking room because it will destroy your life. Gentlemen, you did not work so hard. Build your credit up. Build up your life. Have you a nice house. Have you a nice apartment. Have you a decent bank account. Have you a good career, a good business, or whatever the fuck you do, just to let a woman come in and fuck your shit up and absorb your resources from you and take your shit simply because of how the fuck she looks. Why would you do that, fellas? Why would you allow that? You wouldn't let the fat motherfucking woman come in your life and destroy your shit. So why are you going to do it for a woman simply because you are attracted to her? Stop thinking with your little head and start using your big head, fellas, so you can avoid being in situations to where you fuck your whole shit up simply because of how good a woman looks.
And I definitely agree with what he's saying. Too many times we see young men, middle-aged and old men, see a woman that looks cute and she's not really doing anything for you, but looking cute. And this is the reason why a lot of these women think that they deserve, I deserve to have my nails paid for. I deserve to have this and that paid for. It's because a man that has he don't even have to have a lot of money. A little bit of money is going and spending money on her, right? The thing is to learn from your mistakes, right? But there's men out here that aren't doing it. And you're going to get mad at her because she using all your money and she really don't like you, right? You might go out there and say, hey, let me take you out to dinner. And you might spend $100 or $200 or $300. If she's not reciprocating, then go on down the road. That's $300 I'm out of. But you make the mistake again and say, well, maybe she wants me to pursue. Maybe she wants this and maybe she wants that. After somebody, they know the value of money. And so if they're not treating you with the proper respect, Don't waste your money on them. Don't waste your time on them. You work too hard for that, man. Imagine having to work 8 to 12 hours a day, and then in some situations, even more, just for a woman not to appreciate it. You wouldn't continue, like you're not going to continue to take them out and treat them if they don't appreciate it. Like he said, stop wasting your hard-earned money on these women, man.
I've said it today, and I'm going to say it a million times, ladies. High-value, masculine, dominant, powerful, strong, devoted men are not on dating apps. The same reason why high-value, married, masculine, dominant, strong, powerful, devoted men lead their women. Again, notice I said lead, not control. So why aren't high-value masculine men on dating sites? Because the whole concept of a dating site is inverted in polarity. It puts the woman in a space of chasing, of pursuing men, of looking, trying to find. And those are masculine qualities, not feminine. And remember, a masculine man isn't looking for a masculine woman. In fact, masculine women attract more feminized men. And ladies, if you're wanting to heal both your feminine and your masculine wounding in order to draw a dominant, powerful, strong masculine man, you're not looking for a man who's struggling and suffering in his feminine wounding, are you? So ladies, remember, if you're wanting to surrender and soften more into your feminine energy, you are not trying to find or conquer or initiate. A masculine man is searching for a feminine woman who is not searching for him. So you may be asking, how in the world do you find a masculine man? I've said this before and I'll say it again. You don't. You take care of yourself. You concern yourself only with your healing of your masculine and feminine trauma wounding. This is the pathway to draw masculinity more in your life. You don't act or dress more feminine to attract a man. A high-value masculine man will see that from a mile away and be completely turned off by it. So ladies, stop trying so hard. Stop trying to fix the situation. As my beautiful, gorgeous, radiant partner Paige Stewart quotes, a feminine woman doesn't try to fix it. She only feels it. So how do you begin to heal these masculine and feminine woundings? Ladies, are you listening? You must take the initiative to invest in yourself every single day. And that begins with intentional healing. Drop a comment if you have questions and keep following for more.
Hey, what's up, y'all? So listen, I hear this all the time about being a high-value man or having a high-value man. What difference does it make if he's high-value if he's not kind to you, if he doesn't treat you well? And just because a man is high-value and he has money does not mean that he's going to share that money with you. It doesn't mean that he's going to be kind and generous. You know, yeah, he's high-value, but he treats you like shit. So what good is it, or what difference does it make if he's high-value or not? You know, so many people are so concerned with what their life looks like instead of what it feels like. You know, there are a lot of people that judge their lives, or you judge their lives based off of a controlled content that they post on social media. Whole time they getting treated like shit. Yeah, she going on trips and she got all this material shit, but she getting her head thrown against the washer and dryer. She not gonna tell you about this. Yeah, and if we're speaking on high value, I don't really understand what determines a person or a man being high value. Is it money? Is it material shit? Because if you really want to keep it 100, you know, the pandemic created a whole lot of high value men. It was a whole lot of PPP loans and scams and unemployment fraud going on that created a sense of wealth or richness. He had money, he had cars, he had all that. What he had now though? You know what I mean? It was a whole lot of high value people during the pandemic. But at the end of the day, it does not matter how much money you have or how much material shit you have if you don't treat people well. You know, people totally disregard because there's so much pressure for social media to look a certain kind of way. But how do you feel? How does that person make you feel? You got a bad chick. She bodied up. She got the number 19 off the BBL poster. You know that number 9. Everybody got the same shape. She bad though. She bodied up. She look good. You know, you take her out. She get attention. Y'all get attention. But how does that woman make you feel? Yeah, she may be good to you, but is she good for you? If you fall off, God forbid something happened to you and you fall off, is that chick, is she gonna fold or she gonna fight for you? Is she gonna make sure you straight or she gonna just abandon you and go on to the next person with a bag? You know, everybody's so concerned with what it looked like, but how does it feel? What good is it to have somebody? You can have a chick that look good, got body and all of that. She do all that freaky shit you like. But at the end of the day, if something was to happen to you, is she gonna fold? Is she gonna go find somebody else? Or is she gonna fight for you? Is she gonna help, stay down with you? Probably not. Most important thing to always remember is, money comes and goes, people come and go, but how do you feel on the inside? You can look like money, you can look like you unbothered, you can look like you happy, but honestly, on the inside, how does your heart feel? How do you feel? Everybody's so concerned with what shit look like instead of what it feel like. It took me a minute to come to the conclusion that, man, life not going to be the same like it was 20 years ago for me. I used to ball out of control. I used to spin a bag and worry about it later. But one thing I can honestly say that I have now that I never had back then is a peace of mind. I got peace now that I've never had before. And it's worth more than any 3-month-long vacation, any bag, any Bentley, all that stuff that I had. My peace right now is more important to me than anything.
I actually don't hear a lot of people talking about how different breakups feel when you start dating like higher echelon men and higher value men. Like when you're dating like an average guy or even like a below average guy, you guys break up and like there's shit you can hate on. You can think like, wow, he was a loser. He like was a bum. He had no drive in his life. He didn't have a job. He was a horrible boyfriend, whatever. But when you date upper level men and then have to go through breakups with them, you can't say any of that shit. The guy you were dating was educated, made lots of money, had an amazing job, took care of himself, looks good, is tall, etc., and has lots of options. Like, there is nothing you can attack for your own ego. And on top of that, a lot of people in breakups love to be like, well, they're going to regret that. They're going to regret fumbling me. But when you're dating higher value men, they probably won't because they can replace you like that. So yeah, I've raised my standard and I'm dating like way better guys now, but going through breakups with them is not for the weak.
What are we going to tell these broke, unemployed, lazy women with crazy high standards? No high value guy is picking you. You see, nowadays, women want that tall, rich, but good with kids guy. But do you really think a guy who has multiple options, guys like that can choose any girl they want? Do you really think he's going to choose a girl who doesn't even know how to cook? You're too lazy to even clean. Your room looks like a mess. You're at the club every weekend. You're posting on IG half nude looking for attention. No. And how do I know these guys won't pick girls like that? Is because I'm friends with a lot of these guys and I'm a millionaire myself. You have to understand, guys like that can pick any girl. They're not going to settle down with a girl that's lowest of the quality just because she's pretty. Most of these guys are looking for good relationships, women that can raise kids, not women who are at clubs and can't clean the room. Lock in.
Peace, my loves. So you say you want a high value man. You say you want a 6-figure man, or you say you want a man that's simply able to take care of the responsibilities of the home, take care of you, take care of the children. And that's beautiful. And I'm not the one to say you do not deserve this. My question only to you is, are you aligned to take care of a man that has heavy responsibilities? Are you aligned emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually? Because it is not like dealing with any average man. It's not dealing with Joe and Harry from the club. And even if a man has the finances, a high value man is not strictly focused on the finances when it comes to sustaining a healthy relationship with himself or you. Because a man that thinks that finances is the end all be all is going to use finances to leverage the relationship, thinking that you're only there for his money and he can control you with the dollar amount that he has in his pocket. Okay? So if you're going to the club trying to find men, going to the bar or whatever it is, these low vibrational places to try to find men, and you're trying to figure out why there's no good men out there, first, you're not aligned to even attract a man like that because you wouldn't even put yourself in a space to be around energies that are entertained or fueled by that type of space. Secondly, you want a high value man, but you know nothing about bookkeeping, you know nothing about business, you know nothing about credit, you know nothing about liability and asset. You're not ready for a high value man. You're not ready for a man that's able to take care of every responsibility and allow you to truly dwell in your feminine energy.
Again, I'm not saying you don't deserve it. I'm saying you're not prepared for it. Okay? A woman that is truly prepared for a man that is willing to sacrifice himself, his energy, and his time to make sure your life is easier has to also make sure that his life is easier. Emotionally, you have to be confident within yourself. Whatever insecurities you're having, whatever doubts you have, whatever childhood trauma you have, it needs to be taken care of before you self-sabotage your relationship with a genuinely good man. Okay, because a man that has this type of power, that has this type of motivation to become better, he's going to attract women. They're going to be coming for him left and right. But if you're still broken for your last relationship, if you're still deprived from what daddy didn't give you, and you feel like he has to be up under you at all times, 24/7, you are going to try to box him in. He won't be able to grow and he's going to leave you. Not because he doesn't love you, but because the mission is much bigger than just your emotions and your childhood trauma. If you say you want a good man, honey, you have to step in that kitchen. You have to know how to be able to keep your man at a high vibrational state. Okay, feeding him Insta grits, feeding him Insta hamburger helper, whatever it is, it's not going to cut it, my love. This man has to think at a high level. So he needs high vibrational foods. You need to know how to cook meals that's going to sustain him and keep his legacy going. When I say his legacy, his children. No man wants to be with a woman that doesn't know how to take care of herself, her children, and him. So you have to figure out, what do I need to learn to become the woman that matches that vibration of the man that I say that I want? Okay? You can't treat average Joe and the man that you say you want the same. It's not going to cut it. You have to raise your vibration, study what you need to study, love on yourself, heal, go to therapy, take care of your body, take pride in your appearance. For you to say you want to attract this type of person, you have to become that type of person. Again, I'm not saying you don't deserve it. I'm saying you need to align with it, okay? It's Queen Mother AY again. As I always say, if mommy didn't tell you, if daddy didn't tell you, I'm here to tell you I love you so much. All praises due to the Most High. Peace.
And honestly, she's covering it from start to finish, to be honest. Now, you know, there are some things that in there that you can do that's a little bit different from how she runs her house and how they run their house together. You know, I'm actually looking at her page and I'm seeing who her husband is, right? And I can see now why he would say, well, you got to do all of this for your woman, this, and this. And some of the stuff I agree, you know, with the dynamic. I can see after hearing her talk about whatever, why he would say, hey man, you got to provide, you got to do this, and this. But it's a little bit more nuanced than that, right? You got the basics down, but in general, you're right. This is what you got to do for your man. Now, in terms of like instant grits and stuff like that, you know, basically I would just say, don't have a man eating a frozen pizza every night, right? You don't got to cook and clean every night. But if you cook, then you're probably going to make enough. If it's just you two, well, then you make enough for you two for maybe a day or so, a couple of days. And then you might cook on Monday, and then you come again and you cook on Thursday, right? Or both of you switch. If you don't know how to cook, you do all the cooking and he know how to do the cleaning, right? But at some point in time, you're going to have to provide some sort of value to the man in order for him to be like, oh yeah, I don't mind protecting her. And a lot of times when we talk about protection and provision, we only think about finances. We don't think about all of the other stuff that a man is doing outside of the finances to make sure that your world is running along smoothly. And so therefore, you get tricked for whatever reason into thinking, oh, he's not doing anything for me, when in fact, he's doing a whole heck of a lot. You just don't like to acknowledge it. Some TikTok somewhere got you thinking that he ain't doing anything.
So the video I'm going to share with you is a high value man
explaining why you can't find high-value men on dating apps. And having been someone who has been on dating apps, looking for that high-value masculine man, I think I 1,000% agree with him. Take a listen.
Hey everyone, it's Michael. High-value, good quality masculine men are not on dating apps. Now you might ask, why is that? And here's the answer: because these men do not seek approval and validation, and certainly don't thrive on the dopamine hit that they may feel when they get a match or a message. Dating apps and being on a dating site is fundamentally a very weak thing for a man to do. Think about this for a moment. A true masculine man does not seek approval. He doesn't seek validation from anyone at all. But when he puts a profile up on a dating app, he's literally saying, hey, look at me. I want you to approve of me enough to send me a message or swipe in the right direction, depending upon which app we're talking about here, right? And that is not masculine. That's not how a man conducts himself. That's attention seeking. Because the most attractive type of man to a woman is the one who can navigate his life confidently, continuing to refine his character, constantly improving himself and reaching for his potential. This is not the type of man who's on dating apps. And ironically, he is the type of man that will attract the kind of woman who also isn't on a dating app, because she, like him, holds herself to much higher standards. So if you want to truly be attractive to women, be a man and get off dating apps and stop seeking approval from women.
Now, we all have our own opinions. This is mine as I travel this road, trying to embrace more of my feminine energy in the right situations. And in this particular situation and dynamic, I'm 1,000% in agreement. And I know not everyone will be. I'm sure some of you hearing the sound of my voice have been on dating apps and you found a great man. And that's fantastic. But the more I travel this road and understand how these energies work and understand that a high value man isn't going to be digging and seeking in that way, the more I agree. And I'm just curious what you think as you travel this road, whether you're on it or not. If you're new to me, I'm on this feminine energy exploration. It's an energy I've always suppressed and I'm embracing. So I don't know. What do you think?
Are high value men on the dating apps? Of course they are, silly. But you have to remember, the universe responds to what you believe is true. So when you say they're not there, the universe goes, your wish is my command. And of course, you're not going to find them there. High value men, they're on the dating apps, but they use it differently. They're looking for a high value woman, one with interest, one with a big smile, one with a big life, someone who's happy, someone whose profile exudes joy and possibility and gratitude. So if your profile is just wah, 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 with 2 or 3 boring pictures because you think there's no one good on the apps, well, of course, you're not going to meet anyone good. High value, wealthy, successful, smart, sharp men, they're everywhere. And just like you don't know the guy sitting across from you at the bar could be lying to you and married. Of course, they're on the apps. Go find it.
Ladies, I think we've all lost something. Where are the high value men? Where did they go? They're lost and they cannot be found. I've clearly been looking. I've maybe found a small handful in my dating pool. Not that I've been dating a lot, but a small handful, which that's good. They're out there. But a lot of them are lost or they cannot be found. Help me find the high value men.
Girl, do you realize you're about to lose something rare? He's doing everything he can to show you he loves you, to be there for you, to support you through your overthinking and emotional moment. And you're still creating distance. For what men like him are rare. Guys who genuinely care are hard to find. And you're treating this one like he's replaced. And everyone keeps asking, where are the good guys? He's right in front of you. If you love him the way you say you do, then your actions need to reflect that. Yes. Because when someone gives their best and still feels invisible, it slowly convinces them they're not enough. It makes him feel unappreciated, taken for granted, and emotionally useless no matter how hard she tries. Over time, that feeling changes a man. He starts pulling back, protecting himself, and becoming emotionally guarded instead of open. That's how good men lose their softness. Not because they wanted to change, but because staying vulnerable stops feeling safe. Once a good man feels unseen for too long, he doesn't argue or zag. He quietly withdraws and stops offering the effort that once came naturally. And when he finally stops trying, it's not because he didn't care. It's because he cared for too long without feeling met halfway. By the time you realize what you had, he's already learned the lesson you taught him, to give his effort only where it's valued.
Women get so pissed when men say they aren't as valuable as they used to be, that men have to put in more work for essentially half the cow. Or when men say that they don't want to date single moms because they don't want to be the fixer-upper, there's like an uproar with women. But men do not want these useless women. Why is a man going to put up with a woman who doesn't respect him and certainly doesn't respect herself? How can you expect a man to want you when you are not useful? You don't want to cook. You don't want to clean. Your idea of being a parent is shoving a tablet in your child's face and taking them to the park and having quality time seems like too much of a chore because you're too busy on social media. These women are not nurturing. How can you be in a relationship and be the mother figure and the wife and not be nurturing? Your idea of being nurturing is giving a badass attitude. And what men really mean when they say that they want a high-value woman, it means that they don't want the drama. They don't want the insecurities. They don't want to feel manipulated as some part of a game to be able to make a relationship work. He doesn't need the problems that you're going to bring. He doesn't need these unrealistic expectations. He doesn't need to be used for his money that he's worked hard for. He doesn't need the manipulation, the gaslighting, and the psychology lessons every time he's trying to have a conversation with you. Doesn't need to be compared to every single ex and having to compete with your unhealed trauma. When he says he wants a high-value woman, he means that he wants a healed, self-aware woman who understands the value of a family, an upbringing, and respecting and serving a man. Okay, bye.
High-value men care what you're wearing. They care about your body count. They care about the facts in place showing how much you truly value and respect yourself. And the facts are, men see you a certain way if you act like that. And it's honestly a good thing, because why would you want to act like that? If you actually stop and ask yourself why you're dressing like that, why you're hooking up with random guys every other night, why you're drinking, partying, smoking, going out to the bars, you would understand there's a deeper reason. Your desire for those things comes from a place of lack from within. That doesn't mean that you have to stay inside all the time, never do anything fun, and dress like a nun. It just means there's a barrier between wearing absolutely nothing and trying to look sexy and wear your push-up bra and your tiny little whatever, and still being cute, having style, but putting yourself in safe environments where people are high value and not looking around for attention like a whole insecurity fest. Also, the facts is that guys don't have boobs. Fun fact. I remember when I was younger, my sisters and I would say to my dad, like, but the boys this, but the boys, and my dad would be like, you're not a boy. Boys don't have to wear a shirt because they don't have boobs. So yeah, it's also a little different. If you have bigger boobs versus if you have smaller boobs, you might have to wear a little more clothing to cover up, to look more modern. Personally, I've been bigger and smaller. I've lost weight and I'm able to get away with wearing smaller things. That's why the dress code in school, the shorter girls would get away with more because we're shorter. It's easier to cover us. It's easier to not give off that energy as much. You can argue with the way the rules work. Or you could be like, let me stop playing checkers, let me play chess. These are the rules of life, the rules of the game. Play them, use them to your advantage. I'm not saying not to wear anything cute. I wear mini skirts all the time. I wear little cute tank tops and whatnot, but you know the difference. You know the fucking energy you're putting out. So don't be delusional, and you can nitpick every single thing someone says, but the truth is, you know if you're respecting yourself or not. And a lot of the times, the girls who dress like that directly correlate to their amount of self-love and confidence and respect. And normally, the little high schoolers I see wearing the exact same outfit, copy and paste of basically nothing, are also the girls with a Snapchat roster scrolling for days, with 7 situationships going at once. You can pretend that women empowerment is doing whatever you want, hooking up with whoever you want, sexualizing your own self, but it's not. And if you want to live the best life ever and receive the best treatment from guys ever, which you all deserve, then you need to know how to respect yourself. And I'm telling you, as someone with not daddy issues who was taught, this is the truth. Love you, follow for more. And if you want to join my community of girls, then message me on Instagram because it's closing soon and you have to interview to be part of it. Love you. Mwah. These are 9 rules that every high value man needs to live by. Rule 1, your presence matters. Women feel you before they hear you. Your vibe speaks louder than your words, so slow movements show control. Fast ones show insecurity, so hold your eye contact, own every single room that you walk into. Number 2, have your own life. Purpose first, passion first. Your mission becomes before her approval, always. Women don't want to be your entire world. They want to join a world that's already moving. A man with direction is impossible to ignore. Number 3, be seen as a high-value man. Women want the man that other women want, so stand in high-status places, earn respect from other men, surround yourself with that beauty. Options changes the way she sees you. Number 4, do not give everything away. Scarcity creates value. Attention given for free means nothing, so stop flooding her with compliments. Stop trying to win her over. Be hard to impress. Make her earn your warmth. Number 5, take the damn lead. Women don't want to run the show. They want a man who knows where he's going, so decide, move, stand firm, never over-explain, never chase, lead with certainty. Number 6, keep things exciting. Predictability kills attraction on every level. So you need to switch up your energy. Playful, then serious, then a little distance. Make her laugh, challenge her. Emotion is the hook that keeps her tied to you. Number 7, be ready to walk away. That is your power. If she knows that you'll stay no matter what, your value drops. Walk away when standards aren't met. Want her, never need her. Distance forces reflection. Number 8, earn her respect first. Nice doesn't turn her on. Weakness gets disrespected, so set your boundaries and force them. Never tolerate the chaos. She stays loyal to the man that she respects, not the man that she can control. And number 9, stay emotionally regulated. This is where the men need to win. A woman tests you to see if you break, so stay calm, stay centered, don't argue, don't explode, don't let her emotions control your frame. When she sees that you cannot be rattled, she feels safe, she feels drawn in, and she feels that attraction. Live by these 9 rules, and you won't ever have to chase women anymore. They will chase you.
They pursue, but they do not chase. They're structured, they're direct, their time is protected, and yes, sometimes they do disappear, they go quiet, not because of disinterest, but because their priorities shift. That just comes with the life that they live. They value assets and not liabilities. They require discretion, softness, emotional maturity. Attitude, next, says is a no. Their peace is non-negotiable. Here's the part most women overlook. Imagine his resume, income, degrees. That's helpful, but it's not what holds him. What really gets his attention is the contrast of his world. Masculinity meets softness. Pressure meets calmness. His demanding schedule meets your flowing schedule. His high-stake world meets your peace. When a woman can create that balance in harmony, she's the one that becomes unforgettable. You want to be the woman who adds to his lifestyle, not necessarily chase his lifestyle. So this video is lengthy already, and I'm going to stop here. Comment more if you're wanting a part 2. Remember that this video was inspired by something that I saw, and there are many high-value, high-standing, in-demand gentlemen, top-tier gentlemen. The only difference is one has publicity and fame, and the other doesn't. Until next time, bye.
And we need to remind you that her, like a lot of these other modern women, are on an energy exploration because they're divorced, because they're out there ruining their marriages. So to sit here and listen to you talk about what you believe a high value man is, isn't really all that valuable, to be honest. Nobody wants to hear your opinion, because you will get out there and then say some silly stuff and then say, okay, now everybody needs to follow what I just said. Why? You don't know how to stay in a stable relationship. You don't know how to appreciate men in a stable relationship. You don't know how to bring a man peace. You don't know how to do the things that a man needs you to do in order to be successful. Why in the world would anybody listen to you, right? Everybody can have an opinion, for sure, absolutely, right? Nobody's saying that you need to be an expert. But the issue a lot of times is you guys, like I just said, y'all go in there, you ruin the relationship, and then you get out of it, you bawl your eyes out talking about what went wrong. Now you're saying, wait a minute, everything that I thought I knew, I didn't know. I need to go on an energy exploration. I need to go find, and I need to go seek, and I need to go search. And all the other people that you done told, hey, this is what you need to do for sure, was dead wrong. Now what? Now what do we need to do? Now what do we need to focus on? That's the problem. With your bad advice, you don't know what you're supposed to be doing in the first place. So why would I be listening? Well, high value man ain't going to do this. High value man ain't going to do that. Respectfully, you don't know what a man is supposed to do. And even if you did, you wouldn't want to do the things to make him happy like he's doing the things to make you happy. So again, if you knew or didn't know, it wouldn't matter because you wouldn't be trying to help the man out anyway. Because y'all don't care nothing about what a man wants. Y'all just care about being with the high status man. The man with a lot of money that's going to cater to you all day. That's going to run behind you. That's going to run a multi-million-dollar business and then come home and bow at your feet. Who are you?